What's up guys, today we're going to be comparing two airline loyalty programs, Philippine Airlines Mabuhay Miles and Cebu Pacific's GetGo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard.
In the comparison, we'll include PAL Express and CEBGO as part of their parent airline, and the focus will mostly be on the airline's loyalty programs and not on the actual flight product. To keep it fair, since Philippine Airlines is a full-service airline, while Cebu Pacific is a budget airline. We'll break it down into categories relevant to choosing the better loyalty program. Each category will have a winner and a score based on the percentage on how much we value each category. The first category is fleet. Although not really that important when comparing loyalty programs, but if you're the kind of person who prefers a certain type of aircraft, it might be something to consider when choosing which program to give your loyalty to. Taking a look at the list, both airlines are big clients of Airbus, and both airlines were expecting deliveries of new aircrafts, but seems to be on hold now because of the pandemic. Although nothing compared to Asian counterparts Cathay Pacific and Singapore Airlines, PAL just has more types of aircraft compared to Cebu Pacific, including a fleet of Boeing 777s and some Airbus A350s. The winner here is Philippine Airlines and Mabuhay Miles with a TPS score of 3 out of 5. One of the biggest factors to consider when choosing the right loyalty program is the destinations that the airline flies to. Because what's the point of having points and miles if they can't even get you to the places you want to go? Philippine Airlines flies to 31 domestic destinations and 44 international destinations in 23 countries as of August 2020. Cebu Pacific flies to 26 destinations and 25 international destinations in 15 countries as of August 2020. If your travel plans are mostly in Asia, then Cebu Pacific wouldn't be a bad choice as it's cheaper most of the time, and if you don't mind flying in economy for medium-haul flights. If you've got North America or the Middle East in your travel plans, Philippine Airlines would be the better option, although Philippine Airlines does lack flights to Europe with only one, which is London. Philippine Airlines is a clear winner here since more destinations and routes means more choices. Cebu Pacific does not have any flights to Europe or North America, which is bringing its score down. Ease of earning miles. This category is important because the easier you earn points, the faster you can redeem for a free flight. Mabuhay Miles and GetGo has two very different models when it comes to earning points and miles. Mabuhay Miles awards you a percentage of miles flown depending on the booking class, no matter how cheap or how expensive you bought the ticket for. GetGo, on the other hand, doesn't use miles but bases your points earning on the monetary value you spend for the flight. Your earn rate will depend heavily on what kind of co-branded card you have with its bank partner Union Bank. This one is a bit tricky since it depends on what tier you are on GetGo, so we'll call this one a draw with a TPS score of 12 out of 15. If you're learning a lot from this video so far, please give this video a thumbs up and a like. I think it helps with the algorithm or something, but yeah. And do consider subscribing if you like the Point Society series. Co-branded cards are one of the best ways we can earn points and miles when we aren't flying, especially now during a pandemic. Philippine Airlines has 2 co-branded debit cards and 3 co-branded credit cards, while Cebu Pacific has 2 co-branded prepaid cards and 2 co-branded credit cards. Mabuhay Miles' bank partner is PNB or Philippine National Bank. For GetGo, they've partnered with Union Bank. For cards, we usually focus on the spend to mile ratio, and to get any great value in the Mabuhay Miles credit cards, you'll need millions of pesos worth in relationship balance with PNB to have any decent amount of spend to mile ratio, which most people just won't have. GetGo wins this one with a TPS score of 14 out of 15. Also, don't limit yourself to these cards, as other banks do have cards that transfer to Mabuhay Miles and GetGo. Redemption flights can vary, since a lot of times you can get special redemption deals, especially on GetGo where they come out more often than Mabuhay Miles. To compare, we'll pick two popular domestic and international destinations from both airlines and compare their redemption rates. Here are some fares I pulled up for early next year. For domestic travel, I picked Manila to Cebu and Manila to Davao. Looking at the screen, Philippine Airlines costs twice as much compared to Cebu Pacific on economy flights to Cebu, and even costs as much as 3 times more going to Davao. International flights are no different, as it's significantly cheaper to book economy with Cebu Pacific, as seen here on Singapore and Seoul flights. The winner here is GetGo with a TPS score of 18 out of 20. But do take note that GetGo's redemption rates do fluctuate depending on availability, but are rarely higher than Mabuhay Miles redemption rates. So unless you want to fly on business class, it's much faster to redeem award flights on GetGo, plus they go on sale much more often. Airline partners. Flexibility might come in handy depending on where you're flying. Although neither airline is part of the top 3 airline alliances, which is Star Alliance, One World, and SkyTeam, Cebu Pacific is part of a small budget airline alliance called Value Alliance. Scoot would be the most valuable airline partner, as it offers flights to Europe. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we've seen them cancel all their routes to Europe and several others. Hopefully they return in the next year or so when the pandemic is over. Philippine Airlines isn't part of an airline alliance, but does have a number of codeshare partners, which I'll flash on the screen right now. Mabuhay Miles narrowly wins this one with a TPS score of 3 out of 5, since flying codeshare partners will also earn Mabuhay Miles, and Philippine Airlines has several. And as of now, Scoot does not have any flights to Europe. Shopping portals and brand partners are other ways to earn points and miles through merchants that you might already be patronizing, or buying something you're already planning to buy from the airline's shopping portal instead. These can range from lifestyle brands to travel brands and shopping brands. Not including bank transfer partners, GetGo has a total of 22 brand partners and does not have a shopping portal. Mabuhay Miles, on the other hand, has a total of 57 brand partners and a shopping portal called Boutique. Unfortunately, it only has limited items. Mabuhay Miles tops GetGo in this category with a TPS score of 3 out of 5, as they not only have more brand partners but more variety as well, especially in the travel sector, with partners in cruise lines, car rentals, and hotels. Once you have the points and miles to actually book that vacation you wanted, how easy is it actually to book and get the ticket? To book a flight award redemption on Philippine Airlines, you either have to call them or visit one of their offices. For Cebu Pacific, you can easily book a flight award on the GetGo website, and it's as simple as booking a normal flight. No more waiting on hold on the phone or repeat information for the nth time because the booking agent didn't hear you. So yep, you've guessed it, GetGo is the winner of this category with a TPS score of 9 out of 10. Before we wrap this up, there are a few things to note that we didn't include in the comparison: the in-flight product and the elite status. We didn't include this in the comparison because it would give an unfair advantage to Philippine Airlines being a full-service airline and Cebu Pacific only being a budget airline. But obviously, Philippine Airlines has a much better in-flight product with premium cabins, better food and beverage, and entertainment systems. Mabuhay Miles also gives out elite status privileges that you can earn if you want to play that game and go down that route. So to summarize everything and the scores, Cebu Pacific's GetGo comes out on top over Philippine Airlines Mabuhay Miles as the better loyalty program with a score of 73 out of 100. In the end, it also depends on what category you value more, and your valuations could be different from ours, and that's totally fine. So comment down below and tell us what your valuations look like, and what other loyalty program should we compare in our next video. Also, do consider subscribing if you like these kinds of videos, and always stay safe.